What is up, guys? Welcome back to Vlogs with Vanessa. Sound a little cheesy, huh? On this channel, we do a little bit of everything. We do Jeep things, we do gardening things, exploring Alaska, and we do story time, like we're gonna do today. So if any of these things interest you, go ahead and click subscribe, and YouTube will let you know when I have other videos coming out so you don't miss them. So enough of that. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I learned after I moved out of Iowa. Being as Iowa is my home state, these are 5 things I learned after we moved out of Iowa. So, number 1. The number 1 thing I learned after I moved out of Iowa is Americans do not know their geography. Crazy, right? No, this is serious. In the past 5 years, I've met a lot of people from all around the United States, and you know, when you first start talking to someone, you usually ask where you're from, and we would say Iowa, and the first thing most people would say is, where is Iowa? It's in the Midwest, the middle of the United States. So that's just one of the things I learned, is a lot of people just don't know where Iowa is. So number 2, second thing that I have learned about being out of Iowa is people confuse Iowa and Idaho. Crazy. If you're from Iowa, it's really awkward. So this is what happens. If I meet a person and I say I'm from Iowa and they say, oh my god, Iowa, I instantly start thinking, okay, so they do know Iowa, right? And then they hit me with, they grow potatoes there, right? No, it's corn, you know, lots and lots and lots of fields of corn, soybeans, not potatoes. That's Idaho. Idaho is out west by Washington and Oregon. It's not in the Midwest, it's not by Iowa. But people confuse Idaho and Iowa. And it's really funny because it just always amazes me that people don't know where these states are. I mean, sure, I don't know where every single state is. You know, the East Coast gets a little congested, and I probably couldn't tell you a few states over there, but come on, like Idaho, Iowa, they're not even in the same region. Number 3 is for people who do know where Iowa is, and they do know that they don't grow potatoes. But this is what happened to me when I met somebody here in Alaska. Number 3, they think everyone drives tractors. Yeah. I got asked if I drove a tractor. Here's a little bit of a backstory. About March or April, there was still a lot of snow on the ground, and I went up to this place called Murphy Dome to get some pictures of the mountains. Now, the snow was still pretty deep. I didn't know how deep it was. Brandon and the kids were in the Jeep, and I went walking out, and there was 2 guys that were out there walking also. Well, I had sunk completely to my waist in snow, and this guy over there helped me out, and we started talking, you know, hey, where are you from? I was like, are you from around here? And he said, no, I'm from California. I was like, oh, cool. And he asked me where I was from, and I said, yeah, I'm from Iowa. And he's like, oh yeah, where they grow corn. And I was like, yes, somebody finally understands me, right? Corn, not potatoes. So I was like, yeah. He said, oh, so is it hard to drive a tractor? And I was like, bro, I'm from Des Moines. I'm from the city area, and no, I've never drove a tractor. Not everybody drives tractors. Not everybody farms. And he was like quite confused. He's asking me, so what do you do for fun in Iowa? And I responded with, oh, you haven't heard of Iowa's sport? And he said, no, I don't think I have. And I said, it's drinking Busch Light. That's the sport in Iowa, and everyone does it. He kind of laughed. He asked me, what do you guys do if there's no beaches or mountains or, you know, stuff like that? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm pretty sure we did a lot of nothing. You know, all jokes aside, there's some things to do in Iowa, but let's be realistic, not very much. I think it's really weird people don't understand the Midwest. I even had this guy, this was recently, I was talking about Iowa and, you know, salt on the roads and stuff, because they don't put salt on the roads up here. And he said, oh, well, I lived in the Midwest and we didn't put salt on the roads. And I was like, okay, where are you from? And he said, Colorado. Colorado is not in the Midwest, not even in the same time zone, but okay. Woo! Number 4. Number 4 is kind of a personal one for me. So being that we haven't lived in Iowa, maybe once a year, we'll try to make a trip back, and everyone expects us to come to them. So number 4 is when you move out of state and you visit, everyone thinks that you should make time for them and you should be the one to go see them. Now, I'm gonna tell you real quick, this is where it gets really annoying. Bro, we just drove thousands of miles across the country. We are in the city, the same city, a 30-mile radius, and you also want me to come drive to you. Do you know how inconsiderate that is? Literally so rude. If you can't make time for me after we have already drove all these miles, it's just rude. So if you have family or friends that live out of state and they do come visit you, make the time and the effort to go to them. They've already spent so much money and so much time coming all the way back to the state. You need to put in a little effort. That's my little tiny rant, I guess, but it's definitely something that we had to learn the hard way, because the first time we came back, we went around and we seen everybody. You know, we also want to see people, but it's too much, and we haven't done it the last couple times, so. Number 5 might be a little cliche, but number 5 is the world is a big place. I grew up in Iowa, and that's all I had really ever seen besides the Midwest, you know, Missouri and Nebraska, you know, the places where everybody who lives in the Midwest visit or go on vacation. So, you know, when we flew out to the other side of the world and lived in Korea for a year, it really puts into perspective how big things are. Yeah, I already knew there was a world out there, but it blew my mind to see how big the world actually is. And not even just the world, the United States also is just huge. I mean, we just drove from East Coast all the way north and west to Alaska. That is some serious miles. And we've had some pretty good adventures along the way the last 5 years, and you know, I could not have done any of that in Iowa, and I could not have had that experience and that shape, you know, who we are a little bit today. And so number 5, also I'm going to attach, you know, take your opportunities when you can. You know, if you get an opportunity to leave Iowa, you know, for a vacation, or, you know, if you have the chance to move away from Iowa, or, you know, anything to get experience outside of your little bubble, you really need to take it, because you only really get this life, and you're really supposed to, you know, live it, and living in a small bubble isn't going to grow or teach you anything. And, you know, you really need to evolve as a person, and the experiences that I have so thankfully gotten in the last 5 years have really molded me into a little bit of a different person. And I just want to say, like, if you have the opportunity to go on one vacation outside of where you live, you know, not just Iowa, if you're watching this and you live in a different state, if you get that opportunity, take it. Take that opportunity. You know, you're never gonna get time back, so just do it. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching this video of 5 things that I personally learned about moving out of Iowa. And I would like to let you guys know, teach your kids geography, please. You know, it's important to know where things are, so teach your kids geography. Maybe they'll know where Iowa is next time I talk to somebody. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and you have a beautiful week. I post a lot of random stuff on this channel. Subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So see you later.